Hey everyone, it's Andy Wood again with the Something Show. I think in previous shows or segments it was referred to as simply the Something Show, when in fact it's the Something Show. But since the show has no real title, that's something.
Hello, viewers of the Andy's Something Show. Andy had to take a break. He had to step out for a minute because he's been diagnosed with boogie fever. Our hearts go out to his friends and family, and hopefully he makes a speedy recovery, but they found the music in him.
I don't have the music in me. Alright, I got the music in me. So in comic book related news, since the San Diego Comic-Con is pretty much wrapped up a couple weeks ago, there's still news coming out. Even though they did the big reveal, and on the DC side they revealed the next Superman movie is going to have Batman in it, I went, hey cool, that's world's finest or world's best, depending upon which way you want to go with that. But then according to ABC News, and that's the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, they are stating that Zack Snyder revealed that Batman will battle Superman in the upcoming Man of Steel sequel. So, they're going to do some battling, according to ABC News. And that's the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. On the other side of the fence, with Marvel's big reveal for Avengers 2 being called Age of Ultron, a lot of people have already started to speculate that because a comic book title just finished called Age of Ultron, that the movie's going to follow suit. According to Geek Tyrant, Josh Whedon went on to say, because there was a book called Age of Ultron quite recently, a lot of people assumed that, well, that's what we're doing. That's just not the case. We're doing our own version of the story of Ultron. In the original origin story, there was a Hank Pym, so a lot of people assume that he's going to be in the mix, and that's not true. We're basically taking things from the comic books for the movies that we can use, so a lot of stuff is going to fall by the wayside. We're crafting our own version of Ultron's origin so that it comes more directly from the Avengers that we currently know. It's going to be darker because Ultron is in the house. There's a science fiction theme that wasn't in the previous Avengers movie. Ultron is definitely something that evolves, so we're going to get together a couple of different iterations. Nothing can be translated exactly, so we don't exactly know what's going on. Now, on the smaller screen, the president of CW announced, and this is according to the Hollywood Reporter, we plan to introduce a recurring character of Barry Allen, who is the Flash. We're planning an origin story, and we'll see how it goes. We do want to expand the DC Universe, and we felt this is a very organic way to get there. So that's exciting. We have a lot of good comic book stuff hitting the big screen and the little screen, and we just need more comic book stuff, I think. And I'm not being biased because I own a comic book store. Okay, maybe a little bit. So what comic books have I read this past couple of weeks? Well, first up is the all-new X-Men number 14. This continuing story of the original X-Men and the current X-Men trying to bring about the original vision of Charles Xavier. Well, it hasn't really worked out according to plan, and in this one, we get to see Jean Grey do her impersonation of the Dark Phoenix while scaring the crap out of a lot of people, and also we get to see little Bobby Drake putting the test to Thor. I actually thought this was a great book, and it's continuing to surprise me after every issue. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend that you read it. The next one up is Red Sonja number 1. Again, I told you about this title a couple weeks ago. I was very excited to read it. I've been a fan of Gail Simone's Suicide Squad in the past and Batgirl, but for some reason, swords and chainmail didn't do it for me. So, if you're a fan of Red Sonja and Gail Simone, this is a read for you. Another title that I spoke to a couple of weeks ago was the Superior Spider-Man team-up. I didn't know what to really expect, except for I know the writer, and he's a good Spider-Man writer, and I'm really glad I picked this up. Did you ever wonder what would happen if Spider-Man took on Daredevil, Moon Knight, Power Man and Iron Fist, Doctor Strange? Well, get this title, and you will. Oh, and there's more to it than that. It is good. I also had a good read with Uncanny Avengers number 10, and Something Evil is Afoot. Does anyone talk like that anymore? In Uncanny Avengers, it would appear that Havoc and Scarlet Witch are reacquainted with Banshee. Wonder Man gets a visit from the Grim Reaper. Thor goes toe-to-toe with Sentry, and Wolverine has a family reunion with Daken. Wait a minute. Aren't those guys dead? Wait till next issue, but pick it up. It was a good read. So what is coming out this week in comics? We have Green Lantern 23. Hal Jordan gets a new job, a new full-time job, to where he becomes the leader of the Green Lantern Corps. All at the same time, he's also trying to solve another mystery in the universe. So, all right, Hal, bringing home the bacon. Cool. Additionally, Hunger number 2. Originally, this title was called Age of Ultron 10 UC, where UC was, or stood for the Universal Constant, which, if you kind of read between the lines, Universal Constant is something that's Galactus related, and sure enough, in number 1 of Hunger, we saw where there was this rift in the universe, and the first thing it encountered, or what one side encountered, the other side was Galactus. So big things are coming. Next up is Superior Spider-Man number 2. The first one gave you a real decent origin of Boomerang. Now in this one, he's out on bail. Is he going to try to stay out of jail because he's back with his own gang, and it looks like he's going to try to put things back together. So we'll just have to wait and see. Last but not least is Action number 23, where in this issue Superman battles an immense alien civilization that has built a feudal system based upon pure evil, and it has been quite a challenge for Superman. So in the gaming news, something I wanted that caught my eye was that Blizzard's next new MMO, which is called Project Titan, according to Kotaku. Now I'm hungry. It's no longer going to be subscription-based. So, previously announced it was going to be subscription. It is no longer going to be subscription. So, I think the whole MMO subscription thing is pretty much fallen by the wayside. And right off the top of my head, I can't think of any of the big MMOs that are subscription right now. They're all pretty much free to play. With, of course, the whole microtransaction thing. So, yeah. Now, during E3, there was a reveal on the next Star Wars movie, Star Wars Battlefront, being done by DICE. And what they didn't say was when. They just had a real nice trailer. There was no gameplay that you could demo or anything like that. However, just recently, according to game trailers, the CFO revealed that the game will be coming out mid-2015. So they want to time the release of the game right around when the next movie comes out. So I think Star Wars fans will be pleasantly happy in 2015. What have I been playing? I've actually been playing catch-up. I have finished XCOM, and I actually have my version of the ending I'm working on, so hopefully I'll be revealing that soon. But XCOM is just one of those games that really kind of got its hooks into me. It's not a game for everyone. There's, like I said, there's levels of micromanagement that a lot of people won't like. But I finished the normal game, and I wanted to do the classic because I just wanted to see what the classic was. Even though I played the classic game, I just wanted to see what the classic mode was, and it's hard. It's real hard. I also finished Duels of the Planewalker 2014. Now, is it just me, or was this one a lot easier than 2013? The challenges didn't seem that challenging. The Planeswalkers weren't that planey. I don't know. But there was only a couple times to where I actually had to concede and replay again. And it was just because I was getting crappy cards. But, you know, for $10, I can't complain. I liked it. I haven't tried doing a sealed tournament yet, so I still have that. But I did finish the game. I unlocked all the decks. My favorite deck to play, gosh, that's hard. I'm going to say I had a lot more fun with the slivers. And I'm not a big fan of slivers, because the original slivers was a mathematical conundrum. But the new slivers are easier on the math. So, yeah. And Defense Grid. I don't think I finished that game, so I've been doing a lot of Let's Play videos on the channel here and just kind of going level by level. And that's what I've been gaming. That is the show for this week. I hope you liked it. Keep the feedback coming. I'm trying to incorporate some of your suggestions, but it's hard. I'm not good at this. I'm getting better. Next week, I'm going to be giving out over the show some codes for digital comics. These are ones that you can redeem through the Marvel website, so they are Marvel comics, and the DC ones will be coming. But do me a favor, down in the comments, if you take a code and you redeem it, just say down in the comments that you redeemed it. That's way people know which ones have been and haven't been redeemed. And there's going to be more than just one or two. There's going to be a good handful. So hopefully you guys can get these codes, read the comics, and follow along with me, and then give me your own feedback on what you thought of the comic as well. So anyways, everyone have a fantastic week. And remember, every Wednesday, it's New Comic Book Day. All right, so what